I was trying to resist of something bigger, and I could not understand. I thought it was everything against me. Should I resist to it or should I go against it? Your higher purpose is always the most difficult path.
But at the end of the day, I think we're trapped. Everybody's been trapped by this idea of by the distractions.
Yeah,
The distractions
we don't
and the
belong to
false
them.
narratives that are telling us who we're supposed to be, and discovering for ourselves, remembering our mission, remembering our purpose, and allowing that to come out in us when we let go, when we resist that urge to have to walk the path that we're told to walk. When we go against the grain and we start to walk the path less traveled, we start to walk our path, the future, it begins to be revealed to you.
I'm not going to be a quit. I'm not going to give up because I know my highest purpose is just yet to turn up.
We have to let go. You have to stop resisting that change, because that change is being put there for a purpose, for a reason, and we're supposed to learn and grow from it. Hi everyone, it's Joey from the Reality Practice Network. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this show today. I know you're going to love it. Also, stay tuned at the end of the show and find out how you can work with Liliana or myself one-on-one. Until then, enjoy the show. Hello and welcome everybody. Thanks for tuning in today to Reality Practice Live. My name is Joey Kramer. I'll be your host. Joining me is Liliana Da Cruz. She is wrapping up some stuff going on right now over in the UK. So she's hoping to be able to join us here before too long. But I'll take the show over and run with it for now. I am broadcasting from my new studio. If you guys don't notice the background, I still have more to do with it. But my wife April and I, we just moved in this week to our new place in Parkville, Missouri. Those of you that know where that is. And we are still unpacking. We're working out all the details and trying to get everything figured out here. As everybody knows how stressful moving can be. We're dealing with that, and it's gone pretty smooth so far, but we keep hitting a few snags here and there, as everybody does. But anyways, enough about me. I want to get right into it, and let's talk about today's topic. Today's topic is going to be discussing the idea of finding and living out your true life's purpose. So as we get some viewers in here and some posts, some questions, we're happy to answer them. At least I'll be happy to answer them at this point in time for you live on the air. Look forward to seeing everybody when we get here. So that being said, we'll just hang tight and get a few viewers to come in and we'll start the show. So, finding and living out your true purpose. What does that mean in terms of manifesting, in terms of creating our reality? How do we find our purpose? How do we find that true meaning that each individual soul, each life is supposed to live and pursue? I believe that we all come back, before we are incarnated here for this journey, this time around the universe. I feel that we all choose the reality. We choose our mission. We choose our purpose. We all come back here with a specific mission in mind, a specific purpose that we're here to solve, in essence. And I feel like we all are predestined, predetermined to choose and to have that life, that reality, and live out that purpose, that mission. But the biggest problem I think we all have is that we forget. That's the whole thing. When we come back here, we go through the forgetting process, and it's our job, it's our duty to ourselves, to the universe, to God, to the Creator. It's our duty to discover and remember who we are and what we were sent here for. I think most of humanity, they're still sleeping. They're living their lives, just going through the motions, unaware that each and every one of us have a true purpose, that each and every one of us have a true mission that we came here to discover and live out. So, you know, how do people awaken? How do we discover that purpose that we're here to fulfill, that mission that we're here to accomplish? For me, I've been shown and given a real blessing in that I've discovered a couple years ago really what my purpose, what my mission was, and that is what I'm doing right now. That is the Reality Practice Network. That is the people I'm bringing together to help awaken and inspire the world. So, for me, it became crystal clear, really, when I started having these visions, when I started meditating and really going deep and allowing myself to unlock those doors, to unlock the mysteries. Oh, hey, there's Liliana. Uh, Let me bring you in, Liliana. Well,
Hi,
hello, beautiful. How are you doing?
hi, Joey. I have a day not so good, but my reality is not that one. That one is behind the door.
Hey, we have to
I
live
know.
and deal with the realities we're dealt and the
Uh-huh.
experiences we're given. It's how we react to them. You know that.
Exactly,
And it
exactly.
sounds to me like you're reacting quite well,
Very well,
considering everything.
very
For
well.
those that don't know, Liliana and I, we've been back and forth communicating, and she's been filling me in bits and pieces of how her day has been progressing, and it hasn't been the easiest of days for her. So I think she this is a good break for you if you've got the time to join for the hour. We love having you on here. I know I do. You've got such great insight and experiences. I don't know how much you heard or when you jumped in. I just noticed looking down
I've
at the
heard,
bottom that you were here. So
I've
uh,
heard, I've heard
I don't
everything.
know what all you've heard that I've been talking about so far, but really just that idea of finding our purpose, finding our true mission,
I
on
heard
earth here. And for me, it was it's
this.
living out this, fulfilling this mission of creating the Reality Practice Network. Like
Correct.
I talked last week about, I was shown the end and I was shown where I would be and on stages inspiring people, but I didn't really know how I was going to get there. And the great picture, the grand picture was shown, and then it filled in all the blanks from there. It filled in all those little puzzle pieces in order for me to continue living out and fulfilling this mission. And I know you, in our talks and our discussions over the past couple years, it seems to me that you're waking up more and more. You've got that burning desire, that urge, of,
Yeah,
there's such a big purpose, such a big mission you're here to fulfill.
yeah,
And it just keeps coming kind of in little puzzle pieces. They just keep connecting together and filling in those missing links, right? How
yes.
did your awakening to your true purpose, how did that begin? What was that catalyst? What was that spark, do you think?
Um, I think most people know because I repeat every single time on the podcast how I become to realize that I'm more than this body. And it's when the world crashing down on you. Most people don't want to understand that is they resist to it. When we resist, for me, was the resistance. I was trying to resist of something bigger, and I could not understand. I thought it was everything against me, and I understood that it was not against me. It was actually to shape me. It was like, wow. So if this is the real thing, let's do it. Let's quantum jump right now, because let me cry, let me purge, let me get out everything out of the way that has been stagnating inside of my body all this time, because this is just only physical and I don't know the other side. Let's explore the other side, what it's gonna look like, how it's gonna be manifesting for me in real life. And as I speak today, I can tell you it's been such a huge turning point and journey for me, that every single day I'm targeted with these things. But I'm not there. I don't live there. For example, today, for anybody that is there, I could have chose to stay in bed because I had this monstrous day. But that's a reality that I'm not living. That people's reality. That's what they perceive to be the real thing. For me, that's not the real thing. My real thing is what I'm creating right now. Everything was kind of get me out of the game. Every day, every week, every month is something. Is a challenge that get me out of the game. But it's like, again, is resistance. Should I resist to it or should I go against it? Your higher purpose is always the most difficult path, always. And we choose to give up on our difficult path because when we just about to break through and everything knocks us. I speak in general now, not just for me, because this is my true experience. And we as a whole, it's difficult to just to carry on. We just give up. I'm not gonna be a quit. I'm not gonna give up because I know my highest purpose is just yet to turn up. Another moment for me is this what I'm going through. I mean, wars from buildings from hell, like, you know, but that is enough for somebody to say, oh no, this is going to be my path. No, this is just the surface, just scratching the surface because this reality, I'm not in there. Although this is my living, it's not what I'm creating. What I'm creating is with reality practice, and there's a lot of things coming up for the group and for the people around the world. The truth is finally out, and that's what we inspire to do. And this is what I want to do with you. So for me, my awakening was just the ultimate realization that is more to the physical than just the physical, and I'm proof of that.
Yes, you are. And I know your followers, your fans definitely know your story and have shared in your journey, and we're each going down our own journey. We're each going down our own path. And I think you said it perfectly earlier on what you were just saying about, you kept resisting what was coming. You kept resisting your true
Yeah,
purpose, your
yeah,
true mission on earth. And it's not until we really let go, it's not until we kind of give up in a sense that idea of control. Really,
uh huh,
it's you think I have my life is set out in this exact way and this is how it has to be and this is how it's going to be and I'm
yeah,
going to plan it out. I'm going to go to school, I'm going to
yeah,
get a job, I'm going to buy the house, I'm going to do all these things that society tells us we need to be doing.
yeah.
And in actuality, that's such the wrong
It
way to
is.
go about this.
Yeah,
We're all just living, the majority of the population's just living with this idea. They're sleeping,
yeah,
basically. They're sleeping to their true mission, their true
exactly.
purpose, and they feel like their purpose is, nothing's wrong with providing for your family, taking care of your loved ones. That's obviously the number one goal, is to provide, to take care of everybody. But at the end of the day, I think we're trapped. Everybody's been trapped by this idea of by the distractions,
Yeah,
the distractions
we don't
and the
belong to
false
them.
narratives that are
Yeah,
telling us who we're supposed to be, as opposed to going deep within and discovering for ourselves, remembering our mission, remembering our purpose, and allowing that to come out in us when we let go, when we resist that urge to have to walk the path that we're told to walk.
yeah,
When we go against the grain and we start to walk the path less traveled, we start to
yeah,
walk our path, the future, it begins to be revealed to you,
yeah.
and those little, like I said, those little puzzle pieces start to come into place. We may
Yeah.
not understand them
Nope.
right off the bat. They may make no sense whatsoever, but the
Yeah,
idea is we
it's
have to
true.
let go. You have to
Yeah,
stop resisting that
exactly.
change, because
Yeah,
that change is being put there for a purpose, for a reason,
exactly.
and we're supposed to learn and grow from it. Let's
Exactly.
say we got Tina's joining us
Hi,
today. Welcome, Tina. We got
okay.
Richard
Hi,
tuned
Richard.
in. Good to see you, my friend. I hope all is well over on your side of the pond there with Liliana.
I hope Diana can't jump on because I've been with her this weekend. We just been drinking lots of cocktails, and she could see straight away as soon as I entered that place with my friend's place. She owns a cocktail bar where I come from in West Sussex, and the energy was unreal. They said like I brought this energy to this place because this is what we are. They said there's only light around you, and although I can't see it, I know this light is coming out. That's why I'm having all these challenges because the light, the dark doesn't like the light, and I'm not resisting anymore. You know what? I am so trusting in this journey, so trusting that I had really a really bad day. People have no idea. But you know what? That day, today, didn't even exist. Tomorrow I wake up and I say, wow, if I did fear, if I give into the fear of this, what's happening around me, I would go back to the person I was, and I don't teach that, and I don't live by that, and I don't believe in that fear. I don't live in that world. This is the world of the many that are still sleeping, that are still thinking that playing this game of being bad and do this bad way because it doesn't bother me. I don't actually react to anything, and they're like, "Why is she not reacting?" Because it's not me no longer. I radiate with light. I see them as survival. They only surviving for whatever you said earlier on to provide. And I'm no longer in that state of mind. I'm surrendering completely because I know, I feel deep in my bone, this is has to happen so I can accept it and understand that is my purpose is not here. This is just the final straw to test me. But you know, I am in such a good place. I actually done this like quantum jump today. I said, look, I'm going through this. I'm just gonna close my eyes. I can't get out of bed anyway because I've been really ill. And I was like, I'm just gonna close my eyes and imagine what it feels like to do the things that I've been asked to do, the things that I've been shown to do, to be the light of this world, to bear the light and the truth, because people need to understand what we live is not real. Nothing is real. So it's no point to worry, no point to stress, no point to. I could well choose that state of mind. I don't longer live there, and this is the beauty of knowing. When you know, you trust, you surrender, and your path becomes exactly how it's supposed to be. I had to reach out to a shaman this week because I have these ongoing issues for almost 3 years. And I live just opposite to the church as I spoke to you. And there was this light, this darkness sitting on my building because they see that they need to feed off me. So they don't want to let go, they don't want to stand, they don't want to go. But because I have the knowledge, when you have the knowledge, you kind of assist the world with it. So these are people that been on earth, experienced the physical, never knew the truth, don't know anything about it. They just go stuck in there in the middle of the path. And what do I do with my knowledge? Let them breathe. Now they on the other side. They can breathe on other level. I help them to ascend, cross this path. They still believe that they still hanging in here, thinking I'm gonna make this hell because I'm still here. They're no longer here. They just dark. Your eyes, by the way, they are shining. They're like sparkling lights. You know, Joey,
Hmm.
your eyes, they're shining, spark.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
lighting in the new studio is working out well, then, huh?
They're like shining stars, really bright. Wow. That's amazing. Just caught me now. I was like, wow. I'm just like, because I'm talking about the light. So these beings that are around you, they thought, she's gonna quit. She's gonna. No, I help them out as well. They're only dark people, but then nobody's dark. They just lost.
Hmm.
Everyone is lost, and you just do your part. When you know the knowledge, when you have the knowledge, you just help them out, and eventually they are finding their way up now. So yeah, what a marvelous time to live, but the most difficult because our consciousness has been suppressed so much that we could not understand. This is beyond human understanding. That's why most of us don't want to understand what is happening, what's happened during COVID. They're still there. They haven't learned much because they don't understand the conscience. It's been suppressed. And everything today that we've been given is not even helping to release this suppressed consciences because everything is so made easy for people to have it suppressed still, like fast foods, um, you know, chemicals on the water or fluoride, whatever you call it. We've been given everything that is not good to open our conscience. And so it's up to us to make it available to us. When you have the knowledge, You know that you have to eat properly, you have to look after your body, you have to exercise, you have to embrace your crystalline body, your plasma body need to come to light, because you no longer are going to be fed by these the society, which is the easiest route, which is the cheap foods, the foods with the most chemicals, because everything is being organized in this order for our consciences to be suppressed in such way that we cannot operate in a higher version. Imagine the world, all of us, every single one, because I'm trying to imagine how marvelous would be everyone have this knowledge that we have.
That's beautiful. Yes, imagine that world. You said something really important there. Uh, how the darkness, your day's been terrible. You see and you sense the darkness.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there's Steve. Steve, thanks for joining us. We also got Louis Perrin. He's
Oh, hi,
joining in. He
Louis.
says, hi, Liliana.
Hi,
Uh,
Louis.
Glad
Joe,
to have
Joe.
you both here watching. So, yeah, the idea is the darkness that's out there, it's trying to subdue, it's trying to hold down your light, my light. It's trying to hold down those of us light workers out there that are shining, that are radiating and telling this truth and awakening the world. And what you said was we have to release it,
Yeah,
release it from the darkness.
yeah.
The negative energies cannot exist when the
Nope.
positive is there. When we are exuding that positivity, when we're exuding that love and that light, it it literally transforms the darkness. It transforms the negative. They're here on the negative entities and energies that are out there. They're here on a mission too. They have a purpose. Their
Exactly.
purpose is to overcome the darkness and to understand and to see that the ways they've been doing it, the manipulation and the control that they have, it still holds no power to
Nope.
the power of the creator, to the light, to the forces of positive, energy. So, you know, that's that's a lot of our missions, I think, on earth is to see the compassion, the love, the forgiveness in order to
Mhm.
help the negative
Mhm.
energies, the darkness, help it awaken to the light. There's so many of us out there that are walking around like zombies, in that haze and that we've
Just.
been we've been brainwashed and
Mhm.
lulled. I say lulled to sleep.
Yeah.
And it's our mission, it's our job to awaken the light within each of us. I made a few notes on it, and the idea of this is we all come here and choose our missions
Of course.
before we reincarnate here on earth. We're choosing
Just
our
can't
missions.
remember. We just
We
can't
just can't
remember.
remember what they are. And
Exactly.
don't I tell people, don't be worried about discovering your mission. Don't be afraid if your mission isn't grand, if it's not going to impact the world. A lot of us, I think, our missions are simply just to
Just
understand
be.
how to live in
Just be.
love,
Uh huh.
just to be,
Yeah.
to escape the distractions, to escape the programming, and to exist in a state of love and to see the compassion, to forgive everyone.
True.
Some people will go on with their missions, their purpose, and impact the whole world, while other people they don't need to be that grandiose.
Nope.
They chose just to come here because in all their past lives, they may not have understood the concept of love and forgiveness. They may have been selfish, they may have been evil, they may have been manipulative in past lives, and now's the time. Now's the time when karma's being repaired. It's being released from the world, from this 3D realm. We're beginning to allow the true nature of God, the true nature of the Creator to shine through us. And as we release, as we trust in it,
It's funny.
trust in that process. That's what
It,
you said. Release the darkness from all that we see. Trust that your path is lit and that it's righteous. And just know, believe in your heart. You said you got to feel it. You closed your eyes
yeah.
about today and you saw the future. You
Yeah.
chose not to see what you were living in this current moment.
No.
You
No.
chose to see the future of what it will be and
What
the
I
state you
created.
want to be in.
Yeah.
Yes.
what I created, because as you know, when we had the interview with Brian, I've already foreseen this and I didn't realize that I manifested this for me. When I connected with you, when your father-in-law was going through that darkness, because we're talking about this today. Nobody is dark. We all light, but we just don't understand how to balance it all. There is dark, of course. There is light, but I don't think there is no dark. We choose to be dark because of circumstances of life. Push us to that side or put it into that side. But when we choose love over everything, eventually the dark gets away of us. We have both in our bodies, the yin yang they're talking about. That's why we live in duality as well, as we everybody knows. Everything is needed in order to be balanced. But what I find the most bizarre, because you're talking about this now, was at the weekend. My son's been awakened since he's 16 years old. He was the path for me for my awakening. I'm so grateful for that. And he said, Mom, now that you understand this, how do you see me? What is my purpose in this life? Because I really enjoy working when I'm working. I really enjoy doing what I'm doing. I said, you know what, Charlie? I reckon your purpose was just to calm down and enjoy yourself. You just decided to calm down and say, look, I haven't enjoyed myself in any past lives. Let me just go in again and let me just take the most absolutely amazing journey and just enjoy myself while I'm there. And he was like, that's about right. He liked it. He liked the way I see him, and I see the knowledge that I gained this knowledge, and I delivered maybe something that he wanted to hear, because he said, "I don't see myself bearing light in the world. I don't see myself doing what you do, and I don't see my." I said, "You don't have to, Charlie. Remember, you chose me. You chose my family for some purpose. Was to teach me. You are my son, but you become my teacher. So nobody is greater than the other. Nobody's older than the other, because the souls don't have age. So
Right.
you are a prime example that my purpose was greater than just educate you. My purpose, because we don't have attachments. Although you are my son, I don't have attachments really. I love you, but I know exactly what the journey is, and I don't have to have these attachments of fear. If something happens to you or if something happens to me, we both know what is the end of it, right?" And he
Mm.
was like, "Oh, I'm so happy that you see it this way, because I was worried, like, I don't have talent." He's very outspoken and very outgoing, but not for him. And I said, "No, Charlie, I think my purpose is this. I can see myself going on around the world and, you know, just talking about my experience and telling people that to wake up, because they sleep on this suppressed consciousness, and they don't know the true potential of themselves. They just working day in, day out. They like mad. Even I, please correct me if I'm wrong. I see a lot of my friends that I love so much working so hard to achieve their goals. But I'm talking about really working really hard. And I was there once. I don't see myself as working hard no more to achieve my goals. I see my path so light that hard work is not even part of my reality. What is your opinion on that?
The As far as working, I was looking at some of the comments coming in. So as far as working, people working, hard on their goals, but what, not getting anywhere, or just going through the motions. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, they just seem to repetitively acquire stuff. They need to have this stuff because they think this is ultimately is what's going to give them freedom. Where
Hmm.
I see it, I don't see myself in the 9 to 5 anymore to achieve that freedom. I wake up when I want. I do what I want. I meditate. I do my journals, and I think I have more out of it than if I was in a job. If I was like running like crazy, like a headless chicken. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks for clearing that up on there. Absolutely. I'll talk about the next kind of notes that I took there. First of all, hello, Claudette Johnson. She's tuning
Hi,
in. Looks like first time viewer. Thanks
hi,
for
darling.
joining us,
I love you.
Claudette.
I love you. I love you. Two of the viewers are my three of my property friends, Louis, Claudette, and Richard.
Well,
I think they have followed my journey. They know I've woke up to something deeper than what I expected myself, and I think they now have curiosity about themselves and their path. Because Louis, that was, I don't know if he's there, but Louis is a very special man. I had this feeling about Louis from the first time I saw him. He's such a wonderful human being. He has no idea what he's capable of. But again, I'm not going to talk about Louis. I will have to talk about with him privately, because I see everything so generic, so generated, that it saddens me a little bit when people have much potential for much more, if that makes sense. Claudette,
Hmm.
she's my darling sister. I love you. Thank you for being here. And go ahead, Joey. Just I don't want to interrupt what you're saying.
Yeah, no problem. I like where you're going with that. I'll go back to what I was going to talk about, but an important thing I just heard you say, it saddens you
Yeah,
when you see your friends that aren't living up to their potential.
yeah,
And
it does.
that's for me, that was hearing you say that made me aware that remember, he's not there. You're feeling the sadness and that
Yeah,
compassion because that's what you're creating. That's what you're manifesting. You know,
exactly.
Lewis is a manifestation of your reality and the
Yeah,
way you're perceiving him
yeah,
and thinking about him or anybody in that manner,
true,
is just a reflection of you on the inside. So,
true,
you
true,
know,
true.
I would say what still needs to be fulfilled within you as far as living up to your potential. You might be at 95% now, but that
Yeah,
5% might be still, that's
80.
what your subconscious mind
That,
is creating for you. It's like it's poking you like, hey, you're
yeah,
not quite there. You still need to keep searching. And
yeah,
I think a lot of us, we imagine this life that you spoke of. We're
yeah.
working that 9 to 5. We're trying to acquire things. That's the programming we've been taught.
Given.
That is
Yeah,
not our fault. That is not our divine purpose. That's not
no.
how life is supposed to be lived. We're all robbing Peter to pay Paul, and we can't get ahead because of the system, the way the matrix has been set up. It's to
Yeah,
enslave us within this matrix so that hopefully we will get distracted enough that we forget or we don't ever remember what our true divine purpose is. And for me, I feel and I believe, and I've seen this, this is the reality and the timeline I'm jumping on and I'm living. And what I foresee in the future is that whole idea of materialism, of the, 9 to 5 of this enslavement, it's coming to an end. And it's coming to an end quickly,
oh,
as we all awaken, as the
yeah,
truth becomes more and more prevalent and shared around the world. We're all waking up to this. And what I foresee, as far as my reality, my future, I see a world where we no longer are constrained or confined in this 9 to 5, this trap that we've been placed upon because of the monetary system, the debtor, the debt system that's
yeah,
holding everybody enslaved. Uh, I envision there's Nasara, there's Jisara. These are all, things that get thrown around in the spiritual community, even in the political realm. You know, uh, these things are coming that are going to unlock the truth and they're going to unlock our abilities to live the lives we truly desire. When there's no more need, when there's a free energy source that's out there, it eradicates the need for all the stuff that Tesla developed and spoke of and designed, 100 years ago. When the free energy, when disclosure comes, it's going to allow us all to take a step back and to breathe and to start to find our passion. We're no longer forced to have to work that job, that 9 to 5 that we hate, that we're miserable at. There, it will open up. There won't be a need for the jobs that we have now. There won't be manufacturing as we know it, factory workers. There won't be a lot of pharmaceuticals and doctors in a sense. It'll all start turning to this natural path. And
yeah,
we're going to have technologies that will build the things of the future so that
yeah,
we no longer have to do the manual labor. And what that's going to open up the door to is a civilization, a society that's able to follow their own path, able to discover their own purpose, their own mission in life. And for some, they may become healers. Others want to be teachers. Others want to be scientists. With technology and disclosure coming in the future, we're going to be traveling the universe. There's going to be a whole segment of our population that wants to go to other distant planets, wants to take off on this grand adventure of the universe. And they'll
Yep.
be able to do that without restrictions. For some people, maybe they just want to lie on the beach and just chill out. And if that's the
I
case,
tell my son.
so be it. But
Yeah.
that's your own prerogative. But what
Yeah.
I feel will happen as we evolve here, each one of us are going to start awakening to our true purpose. And that
Yeah.
purpose may be to write, to be an author. That purpose may be to become a philosopher. I think the new earth, the place, the direction we're headed, it's going to be so much more. CEOs will not be in actors and actresses, these celebrities, sports heroes. They will take a back seat to the philosophers, to the writers, to the creators, to the healers, to the teachers. And everybody, I think the majority of the population will lean towards those paths because that's what they truly want to do. How many people do you know? I see it all the time, like, oh, I'm getting ready to start my podcast, or I'm writing my book, but I
Yeah.
just don't have the time.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of people just will be allowed to research and to discover on their own the
Yeah.
reality that we live in, and the truths, the secrets of the universe. There's no wrong or right path for people. It's
No.
going to allow us to discover our own path and our own purpose. And it's all unique. It's all individual for each person. And I think it's our duty that we've come here to discover is that purpose we each are here to fulfill.
It's true, but adding to that, I hope I will make sense what I'm going to say because it can be misinterpreted. Although we are entitled to money, everybody's looking for it in some different ways of doing it and making it. I found that attitude towards this major money making 3D. I find that attitude very much 3D. I don't longer live in that because I don't understand. Well, it's not. I don't need. I don't have the need for searching that greed, that having this all of it because it's cool to have to be successful. This is where I want to people to understand success comes in so many different ways. When you are fulfilled with your life, everything starts to integrate very well, and then you don't have to worry how you're going to make your money because you no longer search the ways you're going to make your money. Your money is going to work for you because you are now doing the things that you're supposed to do. Although it's difficult, it's like I'll give you an example. It's like I am a painter. I'm a beautiful painter, and I never paint because nobody's gonna buy my paints because just because, let's say. But if I start doing it with passion, perhaps one friend buy me a paint, perhaps the other one, and perhaps a gallery, and you just don't know because that's your true purpose. That's your true passion. So when people want to make money quick, this is what you say maybe as a version of me, saddens me. Because I've done this, I've been there and it took me nowhere. I've lost my family, I lost my businesses, everything was crumbled because I was searching for those things. Now for those that are quick making this money and say, yes, I'm successful because I'm actually don't see this path so bad and is everything is so smooth for me. I see I see these people in a different way. I see them as my old versions that I lived and existed. So I don't have to worry about them, but yes, still saddens me in the way that I was there once. And this is the sadness that brings me that I was there without understanding any of it, if that makes sense.
Yes, yes, it does. That's I've had over the course of the last couple years multiple occasions where that overwhelming sadness, has taken me over, and that I've equated it a lot to the feeling that empathy for people, that compassion for others, as because I recognize that there's simply me awakening, and to look down upon anybody, to have anything but love for anybody is only myself fighting within myself.
Exactly.
You you mentioned the idea of being in that hustle to make money, to I mean that's just that three-dimensional third density programming again that we've been told we have to do. We
That,
need to make money to survive. And I disagree. I agree that we need money at this point in time of our evolution. That is how we trade value, one value
yeah,
for another. That's all it is. you
yeah,
know and the more value you give, the more in return you will receive,
yeah,
monetarily wise, until money no longer is our means of trading, of trading that value. But I think a lot of it is the perception that we need that money to gain, to
things,
acquire more, to
things.
acquire more wealth, to acquire more things, material
Yeah,
possessions.
yeah,
And you said it, we've got to let go of
yeah.
that fear, the
That,
fear of not having the money, the fear of running out of money, the fear of being homeless, of being broke. And when you start to pursue your passions, when you start to go within and feel that desire, whatever's pulling you towards it, remember, manifestation works so much better when we're being pulled towards it versus when we're pushing our way through, when we're trying to force our hand on something. We have to allow that to come through. So the idea is seeking out our passions, seeking out what makes us happy, because when we're happy, we radiate with
exactly.
that energy of love, of joy, of contentment. And it's only when we're seeking the passion and we're living in that passion, be it art or writing or just being in nature, whatever your passion is. When we're fulfilling that passion, we radiate that energy and that love.
We
And
do,
when we do that,
we do.
the money will come. That's when I finally gave up this idea that I had to make money and the fear of not having it. When I
Yeah,
let
yeah,
that go,
yeah.
money just started flowing into me in unexpected, unbelievable ways.
Uh huh.
And I tell it often, but I don't know how many people actually believe it. It's when I was at my total like worst despair at the end. I had no money left and didn't know how I was going to get through the next week. I let go of it all. I released the power that negative
And
darkness had on me. And once I released it and I saw a clear purpose to move towards,
yeah,
everything starts to align in that,
exactly.
in the right way. Is it always going to be exactly right? No, but it's going to be exactly right for what you need at that moment. If you need to be pushed a little, you're going through that right now. You're going through tough things with your property management, with these houses, and it's pushing you to the edge. It's pushing you to
It
the
does.
limit of what you think you can tolerate, what you
Yeah,
think you can handle. It's not going
exactly.
to give you any more, but
No,
it's going to give you just enough catalyst to propel you into that next
next.
evolutionary phase, that
But I know that.
opening that door. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's the idea we have to trust, we have to let go of the control. And when we do that, the answers start to come and we start to find our path. We start to find our purpose.
and
So,
when we radiate, we actually radiate because I tell you what, I know that I'm making an impact because I connected in the right time with the right people because I give no doubt to my passion and I give no doubt to my soul. And I was like, okay, so this is it. This is the way. I connected with so many. We connected at the same time. Do you remember? We just talk all the time, me and you. Then we connected with Brian. I manifest to have this interview with Brian. We had this happening. I know we. I see us, all of us, in the UK with a seminar. I manifest these things because these are for my greatest version. These are not my worries. When I let go of this fear, because I did let go, I fear no longer. Although the obstacles are there all the time to test us, because nobody goes through life without them. It's how we react to them, and this is how I'm reacting to them. That I absolutely know deep in my soul, and I'm telling you right now, because this is life. I feel there is a shift coming in for me this month. If something major is going to happen to me, that I trust it. I absolutely trust it. But again, I know what it is. We launching the Reality Practice Network. Am I ever been good at technology? God, no. But here I am. I met Joey. We're doing the podcast. Who on earth in a million years knew I was going to be comfortable speaking to an audience? Never. As Brian said, you got a lovely presence, you got a lovely voice. He just gave me compliments of something that I was embarrassed of. I was like, oh, how can I talk to people? I don't know how to talk to people. I was embarrassed when I was doing my property videos every day. I was like, oh, I'm such a fool. Now, because I have a purpose, I don't see myself like a fool anymore. I actually enjoy it. It's so nice. Like, I can give people my real experience, my real passion, my true purpose. And every single one of you that are watching have this purpose. You are just resisting because society believes that you have to do what everybody has to do. And this is so wrong. This is 3D. This is how I was, believing that I have to prove something to somebody. Oh, I have to buy a property. Oh, no, I have to buy two. But the other one has three. No, I have to buy five. That is, I'm giving property as an example. It could be shoes, it could be burgers, it could be anything you like, guys. Okay. So as I stopped resisting my path, which was not the right one, everything crumbled. Not because I was not good at doing it, not because I was not better than the others, was because the divine had a purpose for me. And I kept resisting and I kept resisting. I was like, no, I want the property business. And the divine said, but this is not your purpose. You just hasn't remember everything. Let me give you a little bit more. Let me knock you a bit more so you can remember. Can you remember now? Not yet. So let's do it. And it keeps going until I say, all right, now I'm doing this. And I feel deep in my bones. I mean, our network, your reality just led you to recruit the right people. Who on earth knew that you're going to recruit an audience in the UK? Hey, our audience is all UK based at the moment. Most of it, anyway, apart from Steve and a few others. And they are loving it. They saw something divine in me. Everything is a spark. And I'm lighting up people around me because I want to inspire them and I want to tell them to believe in their purpose. Believe in your purpose, guys, because not everybody was born for the property. I was not. And this is the pure um, definition of my soul, that I came here with a remembrance that I had to wake up for the truth in these crucial times where our conscience is being suppressed, so we cannot understand anything. When you give up of the resistance, that's suppressed conscience is obviously going to be there a lot because we all have this suppressedness, but you making adjustments towards open up the space so you can allow yourself to travel to the other side, which is the unknown. And this is what I've done now. I quantum jump. I forgot about my days when they're bad. I think what they are teaching me these days. What are these days teaching me now? Teaching me to quantum jump to the reality that I want to create, because everything is creation, correct? And we are here to create.
Correct. Yes. And you shared the idea that when you follow your true passion and your purpose, like you've been doing, we all will find our tribes. I think we get too caught up in who's
Yeah,
going to like it, who won't, what will people think, what will people say if I
yeah,
start talking about something I'm passionate about. If you start talking about something that's against the grain of what normal society would deem, appropriate, we fear that.
yeah,
And allowing that fear, releasing of that fear, is what opens us up to speak from the heart, to speak our truth. And
Yeah.
as we speak from the heart, from the truth, our tribe will reveal itself. And
Yeah.
we're going to find the like-minded people on whatever path you're on, and you're going to connect with those people. You know, Claudette said in one of the comments here that
I,
the pandemic, it allowed people to stop and reassess their lives. I agree. I've thought this for the 2 years now, that it was such a blessing to
yeah.
have the pandemic happen when it happened for
Same.
humanity, because it gave everybody a pause. It gave everybody the opportunity to remember what was important. We got out of that rat race for a little bit. Some
Yeah.
people for a lot longer, but for the majority of the population, you know, a couple months where we were locked down and we didn't have anything to do. You know, a lot of people got drunk and partied. Good for them. If I would have been 10, 15 years younger, I probably would have spent most of COVID doing the same thing. But, you know, I was compelled. I was led down this path of awakening and discovering more about myself. So, you know, some people during the pandemic, you know, remembered how important family was. Some
Yeah.
people remembered, you know, how much they loved to read and to learn. I can't imagine how many books were written during that break that we all had. How many podcasts have been launched because of the ideas that stemmed from it. You know, we got to take a break. And that's really, I think, the key to discovering our purpose, to discovering our mission and our path, is we have to be able to take a break, to step
Yeah.
aside
I
from
did.
the distractions, to
I
step
did.
aside from day to day fears that persist, you know, and really to go into the darkness, not the darkness, go into
Yeah.
the silence, you know. We don't
Oh,
want to go into the
I
darkness.
met the
I'm not
darkness.
recommending that for anybody. Go into the silence of being within yourself, you know. Teaching and learning meditation practices are so key to this, because once we allow our minds, to the monkey mind, to stop
Wow.
talking to us, to
Yeah.
shut it off,
Yeah.
the truth starts to be revealed.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, those little glimpses of who and what we're destined to be and why we came here begin to be revealed. And some of it can be really scary. You know, if you've never seen a vision of a grand purpose before, you know, and it just comes to you, I know it can be overwhelming. It can be how am I going to achieve that? Or that was just a dream. I just imagined it. Whatever you want to call it. I think a lot of us can't recognize when we're being shown glimpses of our purpose, of our
Our
mission.
divinity. Our divinity. This is
Right.
where. Yeah. Sorry, Joey. Go on.
No, that's fine. I was
Yeah.
just saying, yeah, it's just allowing ourselves to be aware that we're being shown how to remember.
Yeah.
And once we're shown, embrace it.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
I,
Follow that
yeah.
path, whatever it may lead, because if it's generated from love, if it's generated from joy, happiness, if it makes you happy, then you're going to infect others with that happiness. You're
It's
going
true.
to spread and share that, and the universe starts to align for you. When you start walking in the right shoes of the path you're supposed to be on, the universe has a way of
It,
aligning
yeah.
every little thing in your favor, and
It's,
all of a sudden it becomes effortless.
it's
Effortless.
blessed.
Right, yes, it
It's,
becomes an effortless
it's
existence, because like you said, I do the same thing. I wake up when I want to. You know, I get up early, but I wake up when I want to. I go to bed when I want to. I answer to nobody except for my wife. I still have to answer to her. She
Hey,
keeps
bro.
me in check. But the
So,
idea is I'm no longer constrained or held back by societal
I,
programming. I
yes.
live my true
This is
divine
what.
purpose. I live my light. I let it shine. And
Yeah.
I am unapologetic in what I
Exactly.
do and how I do it. I
Same.
did discover last week, though, that I still have a lot of, and April helped me bring this out. I still have a lot of selfish natures, uh, you know, and intentions that I didn't realize I had. I thought I was acting selflessly in a lot of
Wow.
ways,
I love her.
but focusing, you know, I was being selfish in that I didn't really care about what others thought or said. It was all about me doing what I wanted to do. And I
Wow.
didn't realize that
Wow.
in doing so,
That
I was
is.
actually being selfish. There's a difference between being selfish for yourself
Uh-huh.
to get better, to
That
improve, to heal. Taking the time for yourself is
that is.
important. Be selfish for yourself. But in the way we project out onto the world, we have to be selfless. And she brought it to my attention. I didn't even see it. We can't correct something we're unaware of. So the
Yeah.
universe is going to continue to give us those uh, those triggers, those
Yeah.
instances for us to make the right choice or to keep going down the same path that we're on. So she really helped me see that in a different light. And now, I've got to work on that. I've got to consciously create
It will come.
selflessness in the people around me. I need to
You
be more
are.
thoughtful of what they're thinking, feeling, and doing,
Yeah.
and how I cause them, how I can trigger them just by the things I do or don't do. So it was definitely, I'm always learning, guys.
That
Just
is
as you
it.
watch me and Liliana up here doing this each week, we know nothing,
No.
but we
Nothing.
know everything that's within us. All will be revealed when we go within for the
Yeah.
answers. Every answer we ever have or need is already within us.
Yeah.
We just have to seek it out.
Yeah.
So, do we know everything? Yes. Do we know anything? No,
No.
we know nothing. You
Nothing.
know, and
Have
it's
to go to the point zero.
quite the paradigm there.
It's true. That is a huge realization from April. Well done, because it's true when you're working around people, you think about your goal, which is your brand, your name, yourself, and everybody else is just like helping you to build that up. But she mentioned something that is probably what she felt for herself. She's a very caring woman, which is everybody else is on the journey. So everybody else is working towards and with you to help you bring this up. So everybody else is part of this puzzle. So she wanted to be selfless, selfishless, because there's a lot of people involved, and these people are going to expose the truth around the world collectively. We're going to help the collective to help them to work up to this truth. I mean, when there was the COVID, everybody else saw in my property group, whoever is watching, because I can't see who's there, everybody saw that I stepped down. And I had a lot of coaching program paid. It was a lot of money, by the way. I still have receiving every week. I receive the masterminds and the Zoom calls to join the property, this and the other. I don't put my energy there, not because I don't love the people. I love them to bits. I put my energy where I am now, because this is my new reality. It's nothing wrong with the other part. It's what I chosen for me, right?
Hmm.
So people saw me stepping down of everything, and they said, "Oh, she doesn't like money. Oh, she doesn't want to make money now." It's nothing to do with the money. It's about my purpose. It's my journey, my soul purpose, the reality that I woke up and created for myself. I wanted to do this, and I had to find a way, because I'm not technical. I don't have a way of doing. So joining forces with people that can help me, it's gonna help them. It's all about being selfishless. I know what I can bring to the table. I go out to the table. I bring it to the table, and that's what we do. And every single person that saw me during COVID, with no embarrassment, sharing stuff that they call at the time crazy stuff, they are now sharing 2 years after, 2.5 years after, what my content was back then. So that meant that I've done something. And if I've done only one person to change, I am happy, because it's
Nice.
about bringing the light to the world, one soul at a time. This phrase was from my coach, from American coach Peter Anthony. He always tell me, "You help the world one soul at a time." And that is my phrase. I stuck to it, and I live by it, as well as I'm teaching from experience from my coach Mark Harvey. They teach me a little bit of what is to become my best version. And you take these phrases that stick in your head for your higher school, and you apply them to your life and teach by them. And that's it.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, Richard, I got it on the screen here. Richard said, uh, living a balance between being selfish and selfless. He said he believes it's a healthy level to be selfless about 68% of the time. And, I don't know what the right amount is. I think in the Law of One material, they talk about 51%. As long as you're 51% oriented service to others, then you're passing the class, you're making the grade. Can we be 60, 70, 80% service to others? Absolutely. But the idea is we at least have to be 51% service to others. And then Claudette, she said, as we finish up here, she said, feedback enables internal acknowledgement and growth. I couldn't agree more. If we don't know what we're doing wrong, how are we going to improve on it? So very well said there.
Take a break there because she's on
As we wrap up here, guys, I want to thank everybody that tuned in. We had Tina Harvey join us today. We had Richard. We had Louis Perrin. We had Steve join us. Claudette. We had some new viewers today. I loved having you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Look forward to you coming back next week. And hey, by this time next week, when you guys tune in for the next Reality Practice Live, we will actually be live with the Reality Practice Network. Yes. It's launching on Monday. We've got an amazing cast of new shows, exclusive content, new guides, new hosts, teaching so much wisdom. You guys are not going to want to miss this. Be looking for the Reality Practice Network coming a week from yesterday. So next Monday, May 2nd, we will be going live with all new shows. I can't wait for you guys to see what's coming. I'm fortunate enough, I get to do the editing and I get to see the behind the scenes. So I know what shows are coming and I know what an impact and how powerful this is going to be for everybody that watches it and for the world. So I'm so excited to have you guys on with us. So excited to have you join us on this journey. And thanks for coming along. And remember to ask yourself, guys, what reality are you choosing to create today? We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Love you.
Thanks, Liliana. Have a better end to your day than it's turned out so far. I'm sure you will.
Thank you guys for watching. I love you all. Thank you.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Hey, everyone. It's Joey again. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the show. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. We'd love to hear your comments too. And if you haven't already, please make sure to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell to never miss an episode from the Reality Practice Network. As I mentioned before the show, I wanted to extend an exclusive offer to you, the viewers of the Reality Practice Network. For all of you watching this video, you're undoubtedly experiencing an awakening and are searching for more explanation into the experiences you're having. Now is the time to explore who and what you truly are. For a limited time, you can now work one-on-one with your show host. Click the link in the description box below to start your journey, or learn more by going to myrealitypractice.com/ascension and let your ascension begin. And remember to ask yourself, what reality are you choosing to create today?